Welcome to the very hotness of the new comic book world. That is, the comics should smell good. New episode here from the sweltering jungle inside Zanadu Comics. You can almost see the heat in here. Like, I can feel it. It's kind of dripping. You can almost pull it out of the air. Like Mr. Miyagi and flies, you know.
We may not smell good, but the comics do. We promise.
Yeah. Morgan didn't shower today.
Hey, why you gotta tell everybody that,
Because I can tell from over here, alright? I know. It's
the whole internet knows.
Yeah, the whole internet knows. It's okay, I didn't shower this morning either. But I wonder if any of us should. Did you shower?
I showered.
Oh, Mr. Real Job.
Right, Mr. Real Job. You gotta go to an office and crap. Anyway, we've got a bunch of new stuff for you. It is the 5th week, but that does not mean that there's any less excitement for the new comic books. Mr. Morgan over there on the end.
Who, me?
Yeah, you.
Oh,
you
jeez.
want to start it off with something?
I guess so. My monkey brain isn't really working with all this heat.
I know.
Here, why don't we start off with an ending.
Okay.
Here from Dark Horse is issue 5 of Lady Killer Volume 2, long-awaited finale to this saga. The last one came out, I don't even know when,
dude, what, like
at least
April?
half a month ago, or half a year ago.
Yeah.
But Joelle Jones writes and draws this with colors by Michelle Madsen, and just in time for the conclusion of this, we have fully restocked the first trade, so you can come in, grab that one, get totally caught up for the inevitable release of Volume 2, and you can have 2 beautifully illustrated, just viciously written comic books for your shelf, right there.
Those are pretty vicious.
Yeah, they're super vicious. There's, oh my god, an old lady. Things happen to an old lady in this book that should not happen to anyone.
Go ahead.
I have an ending as well. I have Secret Empire 10. This is the big finale of the Hydra Captain America storyline that's been going on ever since Nick Spencer took over Captain America Steve Rogers and Sam Wilson. This is it. The heroes, they have beaten back all the forces of Hydra, but now they are face to face, not just with Hydra Captain America, a cosmic cube powered Hydra Steve Rogers, and the backstory and what they do in the final battle is really tripping, and kind of the whole twist that Nick Spencer's been building to. And what you also find out, if you've been reading the Generations books, which kind of sets the stage for Marvel Legacy, you're like, oh, that's what's going on with all the Generations stories, and it's all part of. And Steve McNiven, who started it off, is back with Nick Spencer along with some other artists. This really is an awesome cap epic for the ages, and it sets the stage for the return of Steve Rogers that we know and love.
Yeah. We will not be able to say Hail Hydra too many times. So there you go.
I mean, yeah, we will.
Hail
Hydra is
Casey.
forever.
Yeah, right. Hail Hydra is forever.
That's right.
My first pick is Spawn, Dark Horror, Part 2. This is the 2nd issue of Dara Savage and Jason Sean Alexander's new take on Spawn. We're transported to, or traveling to Japan, where we follow Cyan and Al, who are living together, as they kind of investigate this weird, ghostly mystery type thing that includes human bombs, which are always pretty vicious. Absolutely gorgeously painted book here by Jason Sean Alexander. This team coming off the great Frostbite book for Vertigo recently. And it's really cool, you know, the power of Spawn is that it has been around for so long that all sorts of different writers and artists, in addition to the Todd father, have put their own take on it. And it's really cool to see something new and something that's really gritty and nasty and has lots of neon, because I'm always a sucker for that. So, Part 2. And we did get Part 1 back in as well, if you did not get Part 1.
Alright, well, since it's back to me, I guess I'll just go ahead and give you a number 1, because, you know, so many things are ending or continuing that it's always nice to remember new stories pop up every single day, every day. There's always a number 1 out there, I swear. And this week, it happens to be a Star Wars number 1, featuring everybody's favorite Jedi that's not Obi-Wan or Anakin or Luke, Mace Windu.
Yeah.
I know you thought I was talking about Kit Fisto, and I promise you he's in here too, but this is all about Samuel L. Jackson, the man so badass he invented his own color of lightsaber. This is a story told by Matt Owens and drawn by comics veteran Dennis Cohen. where Mace has to accompany an elite squad of Jedi to a droid-occupied planet, where, of course, things go horribly wrong and they're met with lots of opposition, and they have to fight their way out of this situation. Because they're Jedi, their missions never go wrong. Negotiations? Really?
Dude, for a peaceful, you know, kind of like, I guess, tribe or religion or whatever you want to call them, they fight hell.
Yeah, I mean, they're like the Knights Templar. They're like, hey, we're just here to spread the love of God, and then we're gonna go and murder continents full of people.
Right. With
But
purple lightsabers.
I didn't say that. We don't need to talk about that on this. This is comics.
Hey, and
Let's go,
speaking
Will.
of comics, you remember how earlier I mentioned Secret Empire and how the Vanishing Point led to Generations? This is the latest chapter in Generations. This is the Archers. This is Kate Bishop, the former Young Avenger and Clint Barton protege, who's now her own solo superstar. She meets up with Clint Barton, but at a time before she actually met Clint Barton. Very Doctor Who, timey-wimey kind of thing going on here. You know, that's, I didn't say it. The great Doctor Who writer said that, but it kind of fits, you know. But this is an island where there's a big kind of tournament of all these sharpshooters across the Marvel, and they're kind of pitted. Are they going to be allies? Are they going to be enemies? What does it lead to? And of course, this is a big story that leads to Marvel Legacy coming up,
Which is very soon.
Very soon.
My next pick
next month, in fact.
Is it already? Next month?
Yep.
Oh my god.
Sure.
My next pick is Packless, #4. This is the one-man Dustin Weaver anthology that has been blowing my mind. Each issue has just been this really emotional and visceral, hard-hitting book that just kind of lingers with you even for weeks after you've read it. This issue sees almost a full book of Amnia Cycle, which is the main story that follows Airman Terradania as she kind of travels to this weird alternate Earth who's still connected by this like umbilical cord to their Earth, it's really trippy, it's weird, it's sci-fi, it's fun, it's loose. I really dig the colors a lot in here, and there's these really great openings that Dustin Weaver does that are very meta, and this one has a avatar of the great Wuda from another universe that is in the form of a frog. That brings you great wisdom. So we're just going to start with that, which is pretty cool. But this is like my favorite image book next to Extremity, and I could not be happier that there's more issues of this.
Alright, well, since it's back to me, I've actually got another Dennis Cohen comic here, and it coincides with, God, there was a anniversary or birthday of something earlier this week. It was, oh yeah, 10-year anniversary of Aesop Rocks None Shall Pass. Oh, no, sorry, it was, 25-year anniversary of Twin Peaks Fire Walk with Me. Right?
Well, these are
Something
true,
else?
but there was something else.
Oh, yeah! Jack Kirby turned 100!
Boom.
Whoa!
Whoa.
The man who was honestly drawing comic books for the majority of that century.
Yeah.
He didn't quite make it to see 100, but he was still grinding his ass off by the time he died.
Yeah.
And DC has, of course, like any self-respecting comic company who owes most of their existence to such a man,
Right.
has been doing a tribute to him all month long. And the latest part in that is the Black Racer and Shiloh Norman oversized special.
Yes.
This time around, Dennis Cohen is inked by Bill Sienkiewicz and written by Reginald Hudlin, actually. And together they take on, fun fact, Reggie Hudlin and Mr. Dennis Cohen are actually two of the longest tenured black men to work in comic books for both companies. Last 2 decades they've done work for both companies. They've done great work. And they're actually taking on 2 of Jack Kirby's black characters in this, being the Black Racer, ha ha ha. They call him Black Racer because, you know, he's black. And Shiloh Norman, of course, Mr. Miracle's apprentice, who later becomes his own Mr. Miracle. In this, they are on opposing sides of a cosmic conflict, as Mr. Miracle has to have an existential race with this embodiment of death. A metaphysical Tour de France, you could say.
Yes.
Through the skies, through space, through the cosmos, man. Also, Omak shows up, because Omak has got to show up.
Absolutely.
My next pick is X-Men Blue. This is... Cullen Bunn is having so much fun. These are the original X-Men who from the past who traveled into the future. They're now allied with Magneto, And it's also James Hudson, the Wolverine from the Ultimate Universe. He's hanging with him now. But this is a really fun adventure because, oh my stars and garters, Beast, young Beast, isn't just a genius anymore, and who's kind of bestial, but he's also quite the sorcerer. Which is kind of cool. In an earlier run, he learned all kinds of spells, and he's learned a lot from Doctor Strange. But he's conjured up one of the, I don't know, sometimes I love her, sometimes I hate her, sometimes I love her again, but the Goblin Queen is back. Ooh. So, you know, she kind of came back when they did the whole Secret Wars and the other original all-new X-Men with Dennis Hopland, when Cullen Bunn's brought her back to kind of weave the magic with Young Beast and what he's doing now. So a lot of fun. Cullen Bunn's having a blast, and it's really probably one of my favorite maybe X-Men Resurrection books. So there you go. Take it.
My next pick is from one of my favorite comic creators who happens to live here. Mr. Corey Lewis the Ray is dropping his first collection here from Image Comics, the Sun Bakery one-man anthology that he's been doing for the past year or so. This has got such great stories as Arum, Sword Skills, the Dead Naked, which was only in the Image stuff, and it's even got the Layered Jacket, which has got Carl Sagan in it, which is pretty cool.
It does have Carl Sagan.
It's totally got Carl Sagan. It's got his great Blood Strike little two-pager, but this is truly like a friggin' rock and roll mixtape. Corey is just fast and loose, and it's just super fun, really anime and manga influenced, and this is absolutely some of the best stuff that he's done. This Sword Skills has been friggin' amazing. Or Dream Skills, rather, I apologize. They fight with awesome swords a lot in it, magical swords.
There's a whole lot of swords.
There's a whole lot of swords, so you can see why, maybe. But really, this is just a lot of fun. This collects issues 1 through 4, just in time for number 5, which has new Shark Knife for the first time in, I'm not even going to count, it's been a long time.
No need to do that.
No. But yeah, highly excited, highly recommended.
And my last book for you, strangely enough, also comes from a local creator. Strangely enough, is also a very nicely formatted indie graphic novel. And strangely enough, kicks tons of ass.
Ooh.
This is Unreal City by DJ Bryant. I first became aware of DJ Bryant actually through the second issue of Packless. He co-wrote the Empty Shell on the Ocean story that opened that issue, which was just a whole lot to take in, and I'm still not totally sure what to make of it, but I loved it. I loved every single second of it. And I believe I will feel much the same way about this. His one-man, black and white for the most part, with a little bit of really tasteful spot color here and there. Tales of just surreal. Yeah, it gets a bit raunchy here. You'll forgive the boys. They're basically 12-year-olds. But this is a surrealist tale of living in the city where, as the synopsis on the back says, the characters cannot enter a room without their world turning upside down. Which I think at this point in 2017 we can all sort of feel and agree with, you know? Extremely happy to see this book here. Extremely happy at the really nice price point, by the way.
Thanks, Fantagraphics.
All in all, one of the coolest packages to come from Fantagraphics all year, and that is saying a lot.
My final pick, All-Star Batman 13. This is the latest chapter in the first Ally. Scott Snyder teaming up with Raphael Albuquerque on, All-Star Batman has been definitely kind of outside of Gotham City. It takes Batman on less of global adventures. This is kind of Batman-esque with a little bit of maybe Casino Royale, kind of Bond-like, if you will, but it all ties back to Alfred Pennyworth, his past, a lot of globetrotting in Cuba. There's Morocco. It deals with the Elliots. There's a character who looks like one of the Talons from the Court of Owls, but is it? So lots of cool. It's Batman with kind of the global kind of spy intrigue, and really unveils a new chapter in the Wayne Pennyworth history.
Which is always really cool. With gorgeous art by Raphael Albuquerque, who draws thick, mean, nasty Batman.
Wide tooth gnashing Batman.
And he also writes it's not very many pages, but it's a bonus story, and he co-writes that in the back of this as well.
Cool. With Max Femar or Sebastian?
I think they're both actually working on it.
Yes.
Cool. My final pick is perhaps one of the greatest creations ever in comic books. He's my second favorite bad guy ever, only to Doctor Doom, because
you're a mark.
yeah, I know. DARKSEID, the oversized special, because DARKSEID does not have a regular size special.
Never.
DARKSEID would scoff at a regular size special. In fact, he would kill you for putting a regular size special.
Omega Beam.
Exactly. But this is Mark Evanier, who is Jack Kirby's very, very long time biographer and protege in a way, and Scott Collins, who I love. He did the only readable issue of Countdown a few years back, which had giant Jimmy Turtleboy Olsen in it, and it had one of the weird, various versions of the death of the new god, whatever.
As someone who read every single issue of Countdown, I can attest to that.
Dude, that was garbage, DC, I'm sorry. Anyway, he is joined by Dave McCaig on colors to bring you the most awesome story of DARKSEID, with Granny Goodness, the female Furies, Desaad, all of the nasty things that inhabit the world apocalypse that you've come to know and love. This is just truly like the crowning of the DC Kirby specials, which have been brilliant, so good job on that, DC. But yeah, this rounds out the month-long anniversary that they've been doing, and this one actually has the OMAC story in it, not the Black Racer one. But
OMAC shows up in
Oh,
that.
does he?
Yeah.
Awesome!
Dude, one story is not enough OMAC.
No, it is not.
Never.
There's never enough OMAC. So you got Phil Hester and Paul Levitz doing that, and then a great Young Gods of Supertown Forever People issue in here, which is really, really cool that Kirby did. So hail the King, hail Anti-Life, hail DARKSEID, and die for DARKSEID, because why else do you get up in the morning? So, with that...
Can't argue with that.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah, so we're just going to leave you with that. Die for DARKSEID, and we'll see you next week.